So in this video, let's understand about the different types of interfaces that is available in FortiGate Firewall. So in order to know more about the interfaces, just navigate to networks option at the left side. So under network, you'll be seeing interfaces as the first option. All right, just select that. So once you click or select the interfaces, so you'll be seeing all the configurations that are related to the interfaces. All right, so this is the very first thing, like you'll be seeing the representation of the firewall, like a visual representation of the firewall. So as you know that we are using a kvm edition. Like when I say kvm, we are using it within a evng platform, right? So we are using a kvm. So but still it is showing like this is how a firewall looks like. And so currently we are using only three interfaces. Maybe going forward we'll be extending it. And it depends like what kind of a firewall you use. Okay. As you know, there are different models available in the market, and the models of the firewall is based on the hardware. Like, and again, the hardware it based on the capacity of the firewall. Like, if you are running a very small scale industry and you want to have, you want to secure a network, but still, if you run only a small traffic in it, so there is a set of, models that you can use. And if you have some 1,000 plus users, you can use a specific hardware. If you're using 10,000 plus users, you can go for a specific hardware or a model, I would say. Right? So there are different types of firewall. Even in FortiGate there are different models of firewall, and the models are based on the hardware it's used, means in terms of chipsets and other parameters in terms of hardware chips that's used within the hardware within the box. And also based on that its capacity depends, right? Like if you're going for a very small firewall, like a very like a lower end firewall, okay, there may be a possibility that you could see only the ethernet cables. There may not be a connectivity for the sfps, or maybe it would have a very limited sfp connectivity for a fiber connectivity, where you could have only you can connect only rj45. All right. When you go for a mid range or more than a mid range of firewall, maybe you would be seeing all 1 gig ports. And when you go for some high end firewalls, you'd be seeing more 40 gig SFPs or 40 gig connectivity ports. Like that, the capacity of the firewall differs. All right. So this is a VM based thing. All right. So this is how it works. Like this is how it looks like initially. And as I said, going forward we'll be adding one by one. Like we'll be adding more interfaces, and I can show you more on it. All right. So for this video, let's discuss about the types of interfaces. Right. So in order to see that, there is an option like click or create new. Right. Just click here, and there is an option interface. So once we select this interface option, it would take us to the interface page where we can explore more about the types of interfaces. Phase. Here we can come to know about the different types of the interfaces that is available. Okay, and very importantly, it doesn't mean that all the models should have all this type of interfaces available. Okay, it depends on the the model, the license you are using in the device. Okay, fine. So maybe if you're using some lower end model, you may not see some features among it. But if you're using some high end model, maybe you'll be seeing some additional features in it. It depends on the type of device or the license you're using. All right. So these are the the common types of the interfaces that we are referring here. All right. So first one, like aggregate. So as you know that aggregate is like mainly used to club or bundle more than one physical interfaces. Like say for example, you want to you have two link, and if you want to club it, okay, you want to bundle the two link into act them as a single logical unit, you can go for the aggregate. So by going for aggregate, you can increase the bandwidth, and also you can achieve the redundancy. Like when I say redundancy, both the link would be active at the same time, like would be carrying the traffic at the same time. It's like an LACP or the port channel which we use in the Cisco. All right. And the next one we have is EMAC. Like EMAC is the enhanced MAC VLAN. Okay. So, the Mac VLAN feature in the Linux that allows you to configure multiple virtual interfaces with the different MAC addresses on a same physical interface. Right? As the same, FortiGate also has in the name of enhanced Mac VLAN. Right? And this is a loopback interface that like it's an logical interface, right? It's not a physical one, it's a logical interface. Mainly you'll be using this in routings like OSPF, BGP, and even in VPN kind of a situations and all. Also, like this is just an overview, okay, where we are discussing about the types of interfaces, but we'll be going through this each and every topic in the upcoming videos. All right. And redundant interface is like, say for example, you want to make a redundant, like but you want to have a redundancy, you don't want to have any outage, like if one link goes down, so in that case you can go with redundant link. But the difference between aggregate and redundant link, like in the redundant interface you can add more than one interfaces. However, at a point of time only one interface will be active. Only when the active interface goes down, then the redundant interface will come into picture. All right. Fine. So software switch, it is something, virtual switch that is available in the FortiGate. And also this interface, it's for an VPN connectivity. VLAN, you already know that. It's in CCNSF, and also it has the Wi-Fi SSID. So these are all the different types of, interfaces that is available in the FortiGate. All right. And also coming down, in terms of a VLAN protocol, it supports both dot one Q as well as AD. Means dot one AD is nothing but Q and Q, right? So it supports both dot one Q and Q and Q VLAN tagging. All right, and also we have an VRF ID configurations here. We can do VRF as well. So this is the place. And also if you see here, there are some predefined set of roles. Like these are the predefined, like a LAN, WAN, DMZ, and undefined. So if you know that, means if you are configuring any interface that is associated with the LAN network, you can just LAN. Okay, these are all the predefined role. All right. So LAN, WAN, DMZ, and undefined. Right. And addressing mode. So, means when you go for an interface, you'll be configuring IP addresses, right? So here, we have three methods of assigning IP address. One is manual, like we can statically configure any IP address to the interface, right? To any interface, like we are configuring whatever interface it is, we can manually assign the IP address here if we select the manual. Like if you go for a DHCP, this is a DHCP mode where from the DHCP server using a Dora process, it gets the IP address from the DHCP server. And we have an some special option that's like automap. Okay, automap by IPAM. Like IPAM is nothing but IP address management, right? So for the it has a default IPAM as well. You can get it from there, or you can get it from any IPAM you're having. Okay, so it has three IP address modes. One is manual, DHCP, and IPAM. You can get IP address from IPAM. All right. And also, if you want to have some secondary IP addresses for some reasons, there may be some situations like you need to have a secondary IP address as well for the same interface, right? So in that case, you can go with the secondary IP address. And then it comes like administrative access. So this is nothing but the management access profile that, if you remember, in our Palo Alto firewall training, we have created some management file, right? So this is similar to that. So here the terminology is as like administrative access. Okay. So in general, like we'd be going with the ping option just to check and understand like the connectivity is getting established or not. And if you want to access the device using HTTPS with the, like basically if in case it is in data interface, you are trying to connect, if you want to access this firewall with that IP address, then you can just go with this. Whatever access you are enabling it, you can do it. Like if you're enabling only ping, just consider that you are configuring one LAN interface, all right, and you are enabling only this ping, and you're connected to some switch, okay, and some L3 switch, some L3 switch or something like that. So in that case, when you enable ping, if you try to ping the interface IP address. Like you just consider that you're assigning some manual IP addresses here for that segment, LAN IP segment. If you try to ping from the client, or the next hop, or the switch, the L3 switch that's connected, if you try to ping from there with the IP address that you configured here, it 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 responds to it because you enable ping. All right. If you don't enable ping, then it will not respond. Okay. That's what I said. Like it's as same as like what how we configure in the management profile in the Palo Alto firewall. All right. And also we have some other options like HTTP, HTTPS. Like if in case you want to access the Palo Alto firewall from the LAN segment, based on your requirement, if you want to do it, then if you can just click HTTPS, and using this IP address from the LAN segment, you can access the firewall with the IP address you're configuring here. Okay. Generally, this is not suggested, or this is not recommended. Use it. Maybe you can use ping if required. Okay. Again, when I say it's not recommended, it's completely depends on your design and requirement. But you'll not see this in the LAN segment at all. Okay, because you can easily take an access to the firewall. Right, means when I say access, you can GUI or something like that. And then SSH, same. If you want to do SSH, you can do SSH with this IP address, whatever you're configuring here. Then Forti manager, like if you want to have some centralized Forti manager, and from there if you want to access it, yes, this is possible, and you can go with this. And even some cases like where you have Forti token, like, okay, so for authentication the client uses this Forti token mobile push, right? So for that you can use this, so that the client will be having some application running in their Android or an iOS device, where if they want to connect to the VPN, they'll open that application, like kind of an authenticator. Okay, so the token would get generated. Like for that feature we can go with that. And also for radius accounting and security fabric connection, we have it here. All right, so these are all about the the basics, the different types of interfaces. As I said, in the upcoming videos, we'd be going in deep. We'd be covering all the concepts in detail.